Pandasaurus game, who's gonna tell us about the Fox Experiment, the new Elizabeth Hargrave game. So please.
Yeah, thank you for having me here today. So the Fox Experiment is a game that's actually based on the Russian farm fox experiment. In that experiment, they were trying to replicate domestication that we see in house pets such as dogs and cats, but in foxes. So the way that they did this is that they selected only the friendliest foxes to go ahead and breed, and then you saw what kind of traits would develop as a result of breeding only friendly foxes. So that is what we're trying to replicate in this game. Um, each player is going to take a mother and a father fox, and then they are going to get the trait dice that are represented right here. So these are the 4 different traits that developed throughout the fox experiment. We have curly tails, bark, spots, and also floppy ears. So after we do that, we are going to get the dice that are represented by all of the traits here, and then we are going to give them a little roll. Afterwards, we are going to try to go ahead and make complete trait symbols. Now, the same traits can only go with the same traits like that. So, like that. And the green is actually a wild die, so it's the friendly die here, so it can go anywhere. That's probably a good spot for it to go. After that, we are going to draw a card from our pup deck, and then we are going to mark off all of the traits that we completed during our roll phase. So we have 2 floppy ears, or 3 floppy ears, 2 spots, 1 whole bark, and then 1 floppy tail. The most fun part about this game is you can give your pup a little name. So, of course, I'm going to go with Panda. And then after that, you're going to give it a friendliness score in the corner, which is the amount of X's that you marked off. So in that case, it's 7. And this is important because the friendliest fox for each round actually earns some bonus points at the end of the game. Now, one of the coolest things about this game is that all of the pups that everyone creates, they actually go to the market after the round is done. So these are all going to leave the market. And so the pup that I created goes there. Let's say that green created a pup as well. Say they created another one. And so as you can see, all the pups that were created in the previous round become candidacy for parents in the next round. And so as you make more pups, the traits get better, and then you see thematically how the traits keep getting passed down.
And this determines the dice that you will roll when you select them.
Exactly, okay. Yes. Additionally, throughout the game, you're going to be collecting these different trait tokens, which are the same thing as the dice, but just identical on your board. And you're going to use them to upgrade your player board here by turning in 2 of the identical ones. And this will allow you to have more fun with the game, like make more pups, get more study cards, etc., etc. So the great thing about this game is, at its core, it's a lighter game. Elizabeth Hargrave has said that it is lighter than Wingspan. Okay. It's a game that you can really learn as you play. But also, there is a lot of different ways to score, which is why it's been so hard to describe this game to people, because it does have a roll and write aspect to it. But to say it's a roll and write game is kind of to be so dismissive of everything else that happens. It's definitely a Euro game as well, because there's so many different ways to score points. You have end game scoring objectives, you have personal player, private objectives, and you also have right here the friendly fox track. And then, of course, the classic upgrading things on your board gets you points as well.
And I mean, there is a lot to like, including these. I mean, I'm sure we can see them already, but these are adorable meeples. But to you personally, what's your favorite part of the game? What you find most fun?
Definitely my most favorite part of the game is the fact that everyone's pups go to the market at the end of the game, because it shows how the traits are passed down. And you'll see, if you ever play it, that traits become more and more apparent throughout each round. And also, it's really cool because once you start to create more pups, there is a rule where you can't take 2 parents of the same player, because that would technically be incest, and you don't want that. So it's very thematic, it's very true to the experiment, and you get to get a little bit of a biology lesson, but you don't even know it.
Once people know it, what would you say is the game length?
The game length is about 45 minutes.
Okay.
So one of the great things about this game is that all of the roll and write phase is done simultaneously. So I guess at that point, it's really determined by who your slowest player is.
Okay, and so if people watching like it and they want it, what do they have to do?
So the Kickstarter actually just ended this past week. but it is coming to retail next summer, so be sure to look out for that.
Thank you very much, and thank you for showing it.
Thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing and see you next time. Bye!